What's it like to be back out here for the regionals, NCAA tournament time?
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's nice to see our guys come in here and get a chance to host, practice. They're excited, so I'm excited for them.
Coach, what's it been like since Monday? You had the excitement of being named 6th seed, and then you had to get out here and work to this point.
Yeah, it's the slowest week of the year. Yeah, because it's the anticipation. You have to be able to manage that. And fortunately, I think we got some guys, that were here last year. We didn't have that many last year, so that week kind of leading up, it's it can be good or bad. It does seem like it goes by slowly because what do the kids want to do? The kids just want to play. Let's just play. Let's play. So it is what it is. You have to manage those 4 days of practice and keep them busy and keep them occupied and just kind of manage their time and feed them all that good stuff.
A lot of us left that day thinking that you'd be the 7 o'clock game tomorrow. Can you explain the decision to push it up to 2, do the early deal?
Because we're ready to play. I've actually been wanting to play the first game now for several regionals, and have just either haven't done it or been talked out of it or just been given another reason. But I decided this year I think it's better for our kids just to get up and play, not have to wait. Weather's a little bit of a factor, just kind of knowing what's going on. You never know when there's delays and stuff, and I'd rather be delayed at 2 than at 9 p.m.
What's your rotation for the weekend, Mike?
Cooper Criswell is going to throw tomorrow, and then Luca on Saturday, and that's as far as we've gone.
You've seen what a rain delay can do to a starting rotation into a bullpen. How much, for the uninitiated, how much does that really impact your game plan when you have to deal with the delay in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, you can't. It doesn't really, because it can be in the back of your mind. But there's not a lot you can do about it, and then it all depends on how long the delay is, and who the pitcher is, how many pitches he's thrown, and how long he can sit before he comes back out. We've been in that situation before, and I hope we don't get into it again, because it's a factor you don't really want to have to deal with, but it's out of our control. We'll see.
Cody was out here taking cuts and doing infield and whatnot. Is he available this weekend?
Yes, he's been cleared. And he had his last doctor's appointment yesterday, so all is good with him. He's a little sore, but he's been cleared to play, and he will.
You expect him to start the first game?
Yes.
What's his mindset been like? Has he been excited?
It's been good. I mean, I think all along he expected to come back. He wanted to come back. We were hopeful, and that's part of it through the healing. It's as you know, it's physical and then it's mental. He's a big competitor, and so he was like, I'm playing this year, and that's kind of part of working through the healing process, is just having that kind of attitude. You can be told no at the end because it is a physical thing, but he's been told he can't do any further damage, and he's got all the protection that we can provide him, so it's all good. He's very determined.
Can you talk about his impact on the team?
Well, I mean, he's been able to play multiple positions for us, and he's going to be able to catch in this regional too, which was another question of whether or not he would be cleared to do that. He told me that if I'm cleared, I'm cleared. I don't want to be cleared, halfway. Hopefully not. So that's good, because you need 2 catchers. You never know what's going to happen. So he brings another dynamic to our team of just some veteran leadership and good defense in both the outfield and behind the plate.
How do you think your team's balanced the quest to make amends for last year and also flushing that?
Well, we're here, so I would have to say they've managed it pretty well, because you just wanted to get back here to this point. It'll be a different question from you, obviously, when this is over, probably, depending on wherever we're able to win this regional. But you can't win one at home until you get to this point and be selected to host. I have to give them a lot of credit. I mean, I said before, I think it's just sort of been that underlying motivator that nobody's really spoken about. But I got 18, 20 guys maybe somewhere in that range that we're here last year, and it's a pretty powerful motivator because it was gut wrenching last year, and it's a feeling that doesn't go away. Over time, it will, but if we're able to win a regional, it'll maybe go away for forever. Maybe, I don't know. I hope so.
I'm just curious. How anxious are you?
I'm not anxious. I'm excited. I mean, you have to be, you have to be careful with being. I mean, I never get tired of this. I mean, just having kids just reach their goals, and I'm excited for them more than anything. Just it's their regional. I mean, and some of it is their last one. For Brett and for Zach. I mean, their days here are limited. And we've all been there and done that, so I'm just glad they get a chance to keep playing, and keep the focus on on them, and I'm hoping the best. I'm hoping the best for them, but I'm certainly excited.
You guys have had at least one JUCO guy, a high majority of your teams, but I think 5 is the most you've ever had on one roster. I mean, just what kind of led to that, I guess, in a sense?
Yeah, well, we haven't had this many, and a lot of it had to do with Cody and Kyle and some of our draft eligible sophomores not knowing what they were going to do last year and whether or not they were going to return. And I was a little nervous about bringing in 5. It's not really been our philosophy in general over the years, but I have to give these 5 a lot of credit. They're 5 really good kids and great attitudes. Not all of them have played, and so that's always a dynamic that you have to deal with when you bring in transfers, because their expectations is, well, you're bringing me in for a reason, and that's to play every day, and that's sometimes that doesn't happen. And I think that's been a big key to our success, because they've not been any problem whatsoever when they haven't played, and yet when they have played, they've been able to help us win, and that's because of their attitude. And our depth off the bench has won some games with Enweiler and Hesterly, and obviously Cooper. Here he is starting game 1 of the regional. So those 5 guys have had a great impact on our program this year. I can't give them enough credit, mostly just for their character and their attitude of how they've handled things.
One more question for you. Do you anticipate he'll start at catcher or else?
I anticipate he'll play right field in game 1 tomorrow. Yeah, Brandon, Martirano's really been locked in. I mean, he's been extremely confident to play the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's dealing right now with the death of his grandfather, unfortunately. And so he's missed some days this week, but he'll be back ready to go tomorrow.
Coach, at the beginning of the year, Cooper was in the bullpen. Now he's starting Friday. What has happened throughout the year that's given him that ability to go from the bullpen guy to essentially your ace?
Yeah, and Brett Daniels was, started for us early years. The ebb and flow of the season. We tell our guys all the time, young guys try to predict in the fall, and they try to predict in the preseason who's going to start, who's going to play, the order, who's going to play every position. And I remember when Josh Horton was here as an undergrad, he set the whole team down and he goes, "You guys think you have all this figured out, how the season's going to go? And there's nobody that knows how the season's going to go, not even the head coach." And so it's just been that kind of dynamic. We didn't know a lot about Cooper in terms of his strike throwing ability, his endurance, of what he could bring to us both out of the bullpen and as a starter. And you might see him back in the bullpen, on Monday, for example, if you get to that point. It's probably a good thing about us. One of the good things about us starting Cooper is he recovers very quickly, and we've got one shot with Luca. We got one shot to pitch him, and that would be it. He gets one opportunity during this regional. Cooper may have more than one because he does recover quickly. So there's a dynamic to him that in the back of our mind if we ever have to get to him. And that's why he was in the bullpen some, because he could pitch on back-to-back days. He just happened to have kind of worked his way up, as a starter for us lately.
You've had a lot of guys in that bullpen.
Long answer.
Who've been stretched out, 3 or 4 innings throughout the year. Kind of how key is that when you get to this time of the year?
I'm sorry? Just
to the bullpen in general. You've had so many guys who have been stretched out.
Yeah, the fact that we stretched out Josh Hyatt in the tournament, there was a reason for that. And he's he's in the back of our mind here. If we don't have to use him for long stints here the first day or two, then we've got him built up to 70, 75 pitches maybe. So, who knows, because you don't know how many games you're going to play in this thing.